All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Miss Sinclair. It is, what day is this? Oh, it's Monday. Monday, May 17th. We're going to work on a statistics unit test today, and we will only get through the first 2 pages. So everybody should have a calculator with you. Like somebody to read the first question nice and loud so everybody can hear it. Brock?
The number of points in the first 5 games of the basketball season are listed below. What is the mean number of points scored?
Tell me what I should highlight in there. I see a couple of things. James?
The mean number.
So we're going to find the mean, and what else do I highlight? There's one other thing in there.
The number of points in the first 5 games.
5 games. So we know that there are 5 scores, and we're going to find the mean. Who can tell me what is it? What does it mean when they say find the mean?
To find the mean of a row of numbers, you add them all up and then divide by the amount of numbers.
Okay. It's also called the average, right? Write the word average on there. We're going to add up these 5 scores, and we're going to divide by the number of scores, which is 5. So you're going to get a total, and then you're going to divide it by 5. Go ahead and use your calculator, and let's get a total for those 5 games. Raise your hand when you have a total. Brock, what'd you get?
Are you looking for the one after?
I'm looking for the total. Anna?
I got 100.
Liam?
I got 158.
James?
158.
158.
Okay, so we all agreed. Now you notice how I check with multiple different people, because any one of us on any given day could make that mistake. So 158 divided by 5. That is the mean number of points, 31.6. Question 2. Somebody to read the question? Lene?
Students record the number of minutes they watch TV. The box plot shows a summary of the results. Which statement best describes the data?
What do you think I should highlight, Lene?
Number of minutes they watch TV.
Okay, and what else?
Which statement best describes the data?
Best describes. So am I looking for true or false? We're looking for the statement that is true that best describes the data. Now let's do a quick review on box and whisker plots, okay? Because you're going to need to remember this particular thing. A box and whisker plot takes 5 data points and it divides this into 4 equal categories. So each of these sets is 1/4 of the total data. 1/4 is what decimal? James?
25.
0.25. So you could count it as a fraction or a decimal. But this is 1/4. This is 1/4. This is 1/4. I need you to remember that when you look at box and whisker plots. A quarter or 1/4 of the students read for 30 to 40 minutes. So here's 30 to 40. Does this section right here represent 1/4? No, so it's not that answer. To be 1/4, it would have to be that whole amount, right? The interquartile range is 30. Who remembers how to do interquartile range? Aiden?
Between the second and the I forgot.
Quartile 3 minus quartile 1.
Oh,
So here's quartile 3. This would be that number right there, which, what do you think that's going to be? It's more than 55, right?
57.
So let's call it 57. And then we're going to subtract this number, first quartile. The interquartile range is 30. Not it. About half of the students read for 50 minutes or more. Here's 50 minutes. Does this represent half? 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4, right? Is that half? 0.25 plus 0.25 would be 0.5, so that's half. That's our answer. That one is incorrect. We don't even have to go to the last one. Unless it says multiple answers, which this one did not. Dot plots. Catalin, would you read this question, please?
The dot plot shows the number of hours and the students in this class volunteer each month. Which of the following statements is not correct?
What should I highlight?
Not correct.
Not correct. We're looking for the false statement this time, right? There's only one false statement. We got to go find it. First one, there are a total of 17 students in Mrs. Farrow's class. How would we find out how many students are in that class? Alexis?
By counting the
Count the dots. How many dots? Go count. Keegan, are you counting or are you waiting? Please count the dots. I love you guys, but you got to remember, you don't pass 6th grade math by letting everybody else do the work while you just sit. Right? Braden, what'd you get?
I got 17.
17. So that's a true statement, but we're looking for the false statement. So that's not the one we're looking for. Exactly 7 students volunteered for less than 7 hours. So here's 7 hours. Do I count those people? No, because it says less than 7. So how many people volunteered that were less than 7? Count the dots. Tyler, what'd you get? 6. Did 7 students volunteer? No. There's the false statement. But it was actually only 6. We don't have to do these. All right, Liam, read number 4, please.
The number of wins in the 2015 season in the American League is shown below.
Go down here and read.
What is the median of the number of wins in the American League?
And what word do I want to highlight?
Median.
Median means to find the
Middle.
middle. Write the word middle. Now, in order to find the middle number, what do I have to do?
Put them in order.
And are they already in order?
Yeah, go backwards.
No.
They are not in order at all. So, because there's so many numbers, this is what I'm going to do. You can decide how you want to do it. I'm going to use this spot down here at the bottom because there's way too many. And I'm going to go up here and say the smallest number is 68. Now, you guys make your list while I make mine. Blake, make your list. Because sometimes I make mistakes, so you guys need to help me. So everybody make your own list. And then when you're done, double check your list and my list. See if I made a mistake, because that was a lot of numbers to go through. Once you have your list, go ahead. You know how to find the middle, right? Anybody else land on 81?
Yeah.
All right, Anna Cook, would you please read question 5?
Based on the following plot, the which statement is not true.
What do I highlight in my directions there, guys? Brayden?
Not true.
Yeah, we're looking for the false statement. The oldest team member is 24. Well, here's the highest number charted. Is that 24?
Yeah.
So that's not the question we're looking for. We're looking for the one that's false. The median age is 22. Here's the middle. Is the median 22? So that's not the one we're looking for. So it's got to be one of the last two. 50% of the participants are 22 or older. So here's 22 and older. Is that half? Is that 50%? Yes, because it's those two sections. Remember, 25 here and 25 here? So right there's half, which means that is also true, not what we're looking for. There's the false statement. Do we have to figure that one out? You don't really have to. If you've eliminated everything else, that's the only answer left to do. Let's take a look at page 2. Histogram. Bless you. Dylan, would you read this question for number 6? I'm going to highlight true because I'm looking for true. Now, these are the number of field goals made. So these are how many field goals they made, and this is how many teams made that score. A total of 30 teams were included. How do I figure out the number of teams? Aiden.
You see where the bar tops off, and then you figure out where the numbers are.
Exactly. Figure out where the bar tops off and assign a number to it based on the frequency on this side. So I'm going to do it. I want you guys to do the same, and then we'll compare if we agree or not. Blake, answer those questions. You're waiting on me. I was pretty comfortable with those 4. This one I had to think about it for a minute. How many people agree with the 4 that I have up there so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now this one I thought was a little bit trickier because it's not quite as easy to see. What do you think it is, Anna?
I didn't say 14, or I didn't say like 12 because it's not closer to 10, or it's not closer to 15, so I just gave it and I said it's 13.
Okay, so you said it's not that close to 10, it's not that close to 15, so that eliminates 11 and 14. And that leaves us with 12 or 13, and you picked 13?
Yeah, Johnson in the middle.
Because I think 12 and 13 is about where I landed too. Aiden, what did you think?
I went with 13.
And why is that?
I went with 13 just because based on predictions, and I felt like it would go on to 13.
Okay. What do you think, Alexis?
13.
And why did you say 13?
Because the one next to it is 11, and there's like a bigger space in between the two.
Okay. Yep. So from 11 to here, it's kind of a bigger space of 2, and then it looks like from here to here is also 2. Here's the other thing I did. I kind of eyeballed it, and I thought that, I'm trying to figure out how to show you what I was thinking. It's more than halfway between 10 and 15. Do you see that? If it had been 12, it would be a little less than halfway, but 13 would have to be a little more than halfway, right? So I based it over here, and we all kind of came to the same conclusion. So now from that information, we can figure out how many teams altogether. Get your calculators going. Tell me, how many teams? Add them up. We got 2 answers. Anybody else ready? Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Olivia, what'd you get? Liam, what'd you get?
32.
What'd you get, James?
32.
33. What'd you get?
33.
Aiden?
28.
Anna?
32.
Okay, you see how we have a bunch of different ones? Okay,
Oh, wait a
everybody.
minute.
Because we went 28, 32, 33. So I'm going to say everybody one more time. Add it up one more time. We were not absolute on that one.
I put it 1 out of 5.
Tell me what you got the second time. Lene?
32.
Alexis?
32.
James?
32.
Brock?
32.
Caitlin?
32.
Braden?
32.
Aiden? Dylan? Okay. Was there a total of 30? No. We are looking for the true statement, so that is not it. Over half of the teams scored that. What is more than half? So first of all, we need to know what's half of 32. What's half of 32? 16. So more than 16 were in this interval. True or false? There were 13 teams that made between 21 and 25. Here's the 21 to 25. 13 teams? False? And a total of 18 made 26 or more. So here's 26 or more. That total is 18, right? So far, so good? All right, number 7. Liam, read that one nice and loud.
The data set below represents the different costs of monthly internet service.
And then what is the mean?
What is the mean absolute deviation?
Okay, we have 2 questions to answer. The mean is the average, right? So to find the average, we're going to do what 2 steps? James.
Is it whiskers?
Nope. The mean, the average. How do you find the average of something? Anna?
You don't you like would you take like the smallest and the big number and then find the difference between them?
Not the difference. Liam?
You add all the answers up, divide by how many points there are, and then you get your answer.
Right. Add them all up and divide by the number of scores. So the number of scores is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to take sum total and divide it by 6. And you're going to find the total on your calculator. Raise your hand when you have that number. We got 3 people. Give the rest of you guys another minute to finish up. What'd you get? What's your total though first? The big number first. Okay, Braden, what total did you get?
I got 330.
Anybody else get 330? Divide 330, divide by 6. Raise your hand when you have an answer. Blake, what'd you get?
55.
55 is correct. So the mean is 55. Now, the mean absolute deviation. We're going to find the difference between these two numbers, and we're going to make a list. So difference means what in math?
Subtract.
Okay, 55 minus 38. Do it. Raise your hand when you have a number. The difference between 55 and 38. Alexis?
17.
Now I'm going to make a second list over here, guys. The difference between 55 and 56. Don't need a calculator for that. What's the difference between 55 and 56? 1. The difference between 55 and 48. 55 and 48. Dylan? The difference between 55 and 72. Brock?
23.
No. You didn't use a calculator for that, right? 55 and 72. What'd you get, Brock?
17.
17. The difference between 55 and 50. Don't need a calculator for that. 5. The difference between 55 and 66. Dylan. Now I have a whole new set of numbers. Add them up and divide by 6 again, because there are 6 values there. Raise your hand when you have a total. What'd you get, Keegan? For your total? Tyler, what'd you get for your total? 58. Now, 58, divide by 6. So the mean absolute deviation is going to be 9.6. What else do I have to do? Repeating. The 6 repeats. You also could do this, because 6 is going to round up to 7, 9.7. Either of those would be right.
I got 9.6 repeating 7.
Yep. Okay, question 8. The dot plot below represents the number of dollars in allowance that students receive each week in Ms. Jimenez's classroom. What is the median amount? What do I highlight? Dylan? In this question?
Yeah.
Yep. Median means what, Dylan? The middle. Now, that's a whole lot of scores to write down. Do we have to write the list? We could. Is there a better way or faster way to find the middle? Anna?
Can't you just count whichever ones have the dots on them?
We can. Watch this. You guys ready? From each side, just like when we do it with our fingers, we're going to do it by crossing them off. It's confusing. So if that's confusing, you can go ahead and make the list of numbers. Right. So both of them are going to get you the right answer. So if that made sense to you and you followed along, do it that way. If not, write your numbers 0022 Make a list. You will get the right answer. Aiden.
I was going to say something, but I realized that that wouldn't work the same way.
Okay. Okay, last question we're going to do for today. Question number 9. It says, which of the following statements is the best description for the data in question 8? I'm looking for what is true. And I'm using the graph in question 8. So I'm using the dot plot to review these 4 things. I'm going to find one that is true. The data is spread out and skewed to the left. Is it really, really heavy on one side or the other? It's not. Which also means it's not skewed to the right either. Most of the data is far from the median and skewed to the right. It's not skewed. So we can eliminate those 2 right off the bat. Let's look at the last 2. The data is symmetrical and close to the median. Well, here's the median. Does that look symmetrical?
No.
Not really. Let's go look at the last one, just to double check. The data is spread out with $5 being the most common weekly allowance. So $5 is going to be halfway between 4 and 6, right? So 5 is right there. Is that the most common? All right, folks, put this back in your book bag. We were going to come back to this later this week, and we will finish 10 through 15.